qualify.
Exactly, because if you're not in the world's top 16, you have to play 3 matches to qualify, and that's very, very tough because the standard's so high. I know they're best of 19, so you'd expect the best players to come through, but it doesn't always happen.
OK, so Ryan Day goes out, but what about the man who's right at the top, or near the top of those world rankings? What a year 2018 was for Mark Williams, who we're going to see very shortly against Kishan Hirani, winning a 3rd world title at the grand old snooker age of 43.
You know, it was just a great couple of weeks, and one I'll never forget. To win a World Championship just topped off probably the best season I've ever had in my life, and probably never to be repeated. At the end, he was bottled, dropped, probably one of the best reds I've dropped in middle pocket under pressure after what's gone on before, and big lead. I made a match-winning break, and how many players could have dropped that red in the middle and made a frame-winning break from where it was? You know, I don't know how many could have done it, but, you know, I'm one of them. You know, I see him up there, they're all cheering away, and their faces when I missed that pink.
Would you believe it?
Down, and then when I won the last frame, they were all cheering, jumping, and that's without doubt the best feeling and the best part for me.
Right in the heart of the pocket. What a match, what a performance. John Higgins gets out of his seat, claps his hands, says well played, and the family go berserk.
Once I said it, I'm going to do it, and what's getting naked in front of 20, 30 people in the press room after just winning a World Championship? If you ask me, I'd have come cartwheeling down it. It was only Barry that made me wear the towel. I wasn't even going to wear the towel. You've seen the tattoo I had on my backside, and he said, you know, I don't think you can walk down like I, we have to cover it up. Otherwise, I was going down stark, as end of story. Thank you, Barry. You know, I'm still enjoying winning a World Championship, to be honest. I've never had such a good time in my life. The last 6 months have been great. I've been off the table, I mean. On the table, I've won a tournament, which is unbelievable. The rest has been a bit of a washout, but I don't mind. If I had any doubters or anything to prove, which I don't think I did anyway. I mean, last season has proved it to anyone, and whatever happens from here on in, it happens. I'm going to celebrate that World Championship win probably for the rest of my life.
Yeah, he's been loving life, hasn't he, over the past 9 months or so, Mark Williams. And this is the man that he takes on here in round 1, Kishan Hirani, who is from Cardiff, 28 years of age. He turned pro last year after going through Q school. He reached the last 64 of 2 ranking events. But what's a challenge for him here on day 1 of this 2019 Welsh Open? He's enjoyed himself, Mark Williams, I think it's fair to say. And who can blame him, because what happened last year was just fairy tale stuff.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what Mark's psychology was going into last year's World Championships, whether he really fancied himself lifting the trophy, but he just got through round after round, and you know, he's been there, he's done it, you see, knows what it's like to play at the Crucible, knows what it's like to face the pressure, and he performed absolutely magnificently in those last few frames to beat John Higgins, who I actually fancied him slightly to beat Mark at the beginning of the final. What a performance.
And I think we're all glad that he kept that towel on for that press conference at the end of the World Championship success. So here we go then, this is the match. This is the man that the Cardiff crowd love to see in action, isn't it? The world champion Mark Williams against Kishan Hirani, and a change in the commentary box alongside Terry Griffiths. This time, a very good afternoon to Mr. John Virgo.
Yes, thank you very much. And, well, he's back home, champion of the world. And looking back at that little bit of VT that we saw there, Terry, what a magical moment it was, for not only for Mark Williams, but for Welsh snooker.
Mark Williams to break.
I don't think it was up there with Davis versus Dennis Taylor, but it was a wonderful final, and 2 great players in the final, and some great snooker played, of course. But Mark was, since then, hasn't done too much, as he says. He's not practicing a lot, he's enjoying himself, and why not?
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Why not? It was a fantastic performance. But this young man, playing the world champion, centre stage, he'll be looking forward to this. He's coming round after 2 cushions, S. Lynn, but he's got to hit it right. He could leave one here. Just looking at the possibility of trying to get to this red. I think it is cuttable, but how do you get there? Could be a bridge too far, this.
Tip is nowhere near the cue ball yet. Well, look at that. What a shot. Typical Mark Williams shot.
Yeah, that's one thing that he's always had in his armoury. Great shot maker. Is Mark, and he's finished nicely on the brown here.
Mark Williams won.
Well, a bit disappointed to have missed that. Didn't have to do much with the cue ball. Had a natural angle to come down on the red. And simply just missed the pot. Well, that's a disappointment there. Kishan, he's not going to get many opportunities in this match, and you've got to take those. Looks as though the red that's just above the black can't go to the right corner, so just a safety shot for Mark, but there you go. Just won't go. When you're in somebody like Kishan's position, you're looking for a confidence builder early on in the match.
And a good judgment of pace there from Mark Williams in that safety. Hasn't got a weakness in his game really. Safety's great, good break builder, long potting good, and shot selection good. And he's a tough competitor. Make no mistake about the fun and the jokes he has.
Oh, and I missed.
And you have to
Here I fall.
catch that red very thin there, not to go into the corner pocket to the left corner. Or worse, he could wobble in that pocket and come across and leave a red on.
Terry Camilleri, who's, should we call him the assistant referee, come marker? That's better. Good shot. Yeah, good safety shot that. Just wondering, there's quite a few snooker players have a slight problem with colour blindness. One that immediately springs to mind is Peter Ebden. I was just wondering whether Mark was at, which he's quite entitled to do, asking the referee if that was the brown. Well, he'll have to settle for that. Not a lot else he could do. Couldn't get back to the balk end. And a good safety. Give Mark something to think about. Well, that was a wonderful pot. Not playing the pot on the green, trying to sneak up behind it. Very difficult shot to play on these super fine cloths. Caught that a little bit too thick, but fortunately the second red he collided with, he only caught it quarter ball, so that's why the white went back up to the balk end.
One.
Another terrific pot, and it was hampered for the black, but he can obviously get through to the yellow.
Three.
He might just be not the red he played on, but there isn't the red he can play for, but Not certain where the black will go when it's respotted. Let's see, you can just get through to, well, a couple of reds. That's worked out nice, but as I say, the big question will be, will the black be available once it's respotted? I feel it will.
Eleven.
Well, it certainly goes to the left corner, but don't think he's in the position. You think this red nearest the right corner is the red to play, mainly because it's unmissable. He's still got a bit of work to do with the cue ball to get in and around the black, possibly up for blue or bought colour. The reds are spread beautifully, but he needs a good positional shot here.
Nice little edge there off of the red for the blue. Never see Mark Williams
17.
hit the ball too hard. They're a lovely stroke. Gives himself
18.
time, you know, to hit. I see a lot of people hitting the ball very fast, like Judd Trump. And he's an exceptionally good player, but a smoother delivery will always give you the best over a period of time.
25. .6.
Leave the cue, hit the ball. That's what they say. It's not hitting it with your hand and you've got a few problems. He makes it quite simple, you know, doesn't he, when he gets in the ball. It's good positional play and
34.
Yeah, and I always find with him, he looks for the simplest positional shot. You get a lot of people trying to look for that perfect position. I suppose it's the confidence he has in his potting. But he'll always look for the easiest ball to get on. I know it sounds obvious,
39.
but a lot of players do too much to try and get good position on the next ball. Could have done with being a little bit straighter on this, but it shouldn't be a problem. Always had the brown at this end of the table that he could rely on. Well, he expected nothing less from the world champion. He had one chance, didn't take it. A couple of good long pots from Mark Williams. Won this safety exchange. Now just this black and a couple more reds away from winning the first frame. So there you see it. Red, black, red. Would be enough to get to Snooker's required.
53.
So this to go 59 points in front with just 51 remaining.
61. 68. 69.
You see him there just change his mind. He was going to play for the red in the middle of the table, and then at last minute he's thought, hang on, I've got a nice angle, but didn't really prepare for it. He's not perfect on this red, but he's only got to drop it in. He'll be on the black. Be nice to start off with a century. No, that's wide. So a little bit disappointed, but that should be more than enough. His opponent coming back to the table. I don't blame him, because it's the first frame and get a bit of table time. But he won't be playing for snookers. He'll just be trying to pop a few balls in readiness for the rest of the match.
Eight.
Well, he's missed it, and that will be enough. Make the most of that practice time, you could say. And it's Mark Williams, the world champion, who comfortably takes the first frame and leads 1-0.
Yes, a little bit of practice time for Hirani there, but Mark Williams taking the first frame. We'll talk to Dominic about that in a moment, but let's just bring you right up to date with Table 2. We brought you a little bit of this earlier on, and we talked about Ryan Day, one of the big-name Welsh players going out. Well, another one is on his way out of the tournament, because Matthew Stevens, as we'll see here, is going out 4-2 to fellow Welshman Jack Jones, who came from 2-1 down to win this one. Really disappointing, isn't it, for Matthew Stevens, Dominic? I mean, he's another one who you would expect to go a long way in this tournament.
Yes, definitely. You know, along with Ryan Day, two real Welsh hopefuls there. Jack's a very capable player, though, and I think coming into this match, Matthew would have known he'd have had a tough match. You know, best of sevens. There are no major favourites in a best of seven. If you don't start well, you know, you could have a bit of a sticky time of it. But Matthew, as you say, was 2-1 ahead in that match, so he was in control for a period of the match anyway.
Yeah, he's edged a tight final frame there, but disappointment for Matthew Stevens. Jack Jones through to round 2. In terms of Mark Williams then, the world champion, and hoping that he can pick up a third Welsh title, who knows, over the course of the next 7 days. Not a perfect start, but, you know, as we said earlier with John Higgins, it's all about winning that first frame, isn't it? Yes, it is.
Kishan Hirani doesn't have a great deal of TV experience, certainly not this type of TV experience on the big stage. The camera's on him and everything. He might feel a little bit sort of trepidant, a bit careful, a bit insecure out there in a way. He might feel that, you know, he's been very watched, and it might just stifle him just a little bit. He needs a good start, needs a good opportunity, a chance to make a big break and get some confidence going, because when you're playing someone like Mark Williams, it's just going to make it very difficult for you.
Talk to us about Kishan Hirani then. What do you know about him? Because he turned pro at 28, quite late to turn pro.
Yes, he qualified last year through the Q School and played very well to do so. And it took him a long time to win his first match of the season. I think he's only won two matches to date this season. And I've practiced with Kishan quite a lot at the South West Snooker Academy, and he's a very capable player.
Let's see what he can do then in frame 2. Let's go back in with Willie and John.
Thank you. Pretty good there. Safety. Ooh, the red's popped out, so Kishan got a half a chance here. As Dominic said, these are the type of opening he's hoping to get. Still a big shot. Well done, well done. Didn't hit it too hard, played for the ball colours. There's one red left out there, just at the edge of the pack. Black's off his spot though, so it's not a great chance.
Well, that was a terrific attempt. Shows he's got a bit of cue power. Just watch this.
4.
As the cue ball grips, it arcs, and he's unlucky. If it had just missed the pink, he might have opened the reds a bit more than he did. Yeah, nice clean pot.
5.
Now he's going to have to try and play a cannon here, you feel. I don't see a red that's available. Normally in this position you'd say you could run round off 2 cushions, but the black may just be in the way. I'm not certain he can stun directly into them and get enough power. Well, he's made a pretty good job of it. Could have had something easier, but nice to see he's got a positive attitude.
They all count. A wobble in the pocket there. Of course, it wouldn't be the type of draw that Kishan was hoping for this Welsh Open. It's Mark Williams, the world champion. A lot of the players that come through from the later stages and came from the Q school in 2018.
15.
They'd rather be on, well, in the outside tables. They feel that they're more peaceful, but as has already been mentioned, once you get out there on the TV table against the top player, they're a bit edgy. Oh no. That was almost unmissable.
15.
Almost.
Yes, and it's shots like this will do his confidence no good whatsoever.
One.
Good solid pot. Now, does the pink go on its spot? If it does, is it going to be available anywhere? The fact that the referee has said, give me a second, tells me that it doesn't go on its spot. Now you see, now it's got to go in a direct line with the middle of the top cushion as close to its own spot as it can. She'll use the blue and the brown as the guide. But for the time being, it looks to be out of commission, as does the black. And not the easiest chance, this.
Seven.
Well, he's determined not to be the wrong side of the blue, give it an extra little bit of pace. And he's landed on a ball colour, it's either green or brown. May play a cannon here, just to try and bring the pink into play. There's the cannon. A bit more pace, you'd have thought would have been better. Maybe on this red to the corner, but don't know how he gets the cue ball back up the table for the colour. Yeah, he can clearly get through to this red, but where does the colour come from? Or just a case of making certain of the red. And he's going to bring the black away from the cushion. Now that to me just shows you the confidence he has
Williams 12.
about this match. Should never take anybody too lightly, but he wants the high valued colours in play. So if he gets a chance, he can win the frame in one visit. Decent safety though. They catch this thin, you've got to avoid the red near the left hand cushion.
Foul.
Not that thin.
Miss. Kishan Hirani 4.
It looked like he could get past the brown. I don't think he was trying to swerve past it. Oh, well, maybe he couldn't hit the red. Maybe he was playing a little bit of a swerve with a touch of left-hand side. This is where they were, and that's where it is now. Well, that looks about perfect to me. Yeah, happy with that, but he's trying to bend it slightly. Trace the left-hand side. Well, if he played to it on the way back, well played. I suppose he had two chances, really. He hit it thin on the way up or thin on the way back. Whatever. He'll be pleased with the outcome. Nearly hit it on the way up, but with that side, bringing it off the cushion. We'll ask him later. Oh, good pot.
1.
It was a terrific pot. And this is a decent chance. A few shots ago, Mark Williams, when he played safe, brought the black into play, thinking if he got a chance, it could be a frame-winning opportunity. Could the tables be turned here?
Struck.
5.
Yeah, he...
Struck.
5.
Yeah, he hit it well enough, but just flicking the black took the pace out of it. Yeah, and had no pot to go at. So good opening red, but not
5.
much to show for it.
No?
more concerned with getting the cue ball back to the baulk end, and he's done that. He has left a possible pot. Just coming around to have a look at the potting angle is Kishan. Well, possible pot here. Well, the fact he's coming down, having a look at the top cushion where he'd like to leave the cue ball, tells me he's not fancying the pot. But there is a path back to baulk here. Well, he didn't fancy it. This is a problem when you play someone like Mark Williams. You leave him these half chances. And he's the type of guy who'll go for him and invariably knock him in.
One.
Classic example, but just run a little too far for the green.
Mark Williams, one.
Do well to not leave this red here. What was it happened? He couldn't have played it better. Well done, little tap on the table from Mark in appreciation. Didn't fancy risking getting the cue ball back to the baulk end. The only thing is with that sort of containing shots, particularly when he had a return to baulk, is you just hand in the initiative to your opponent. I think Mark there was more concerned with getting the cue ball to the baulk cushion, and if he's covered the red to the middle with the brown, which I'm almost certain he has, then there it is, covered. The one on the right hand side, that won't go into the middle. He's always been very clever at that though, hasn't he, Terry? Working out a shot where it looks dangerous on the face of it, but if you look where the cue ball finished. And of course another great Welsh player, exactly the same, Cliff Wilson. he was unbelievable, Cliff. I mean, one of the greatest potters I've ever seen, but he'd play some outrageous shots, and if it didn't go in, then you go to the table and you see where the cue ball finished, and he wasn't leaving you anything.
I think he pushed the boat out a bit too far there. It was a tough shot to play. As it turned out, the red went down the table, but the blue was covering the potting angle of it, so he's got one on the left of the table. He's trying to pot the one above the pink. Wow. And did he pot it?
One.
Now then, has he got a colour to go for? Not sure if the brown goes past the yellow. Black's a tough shot.
Yeah, you'd think he could see enough of the blue, but needs to get this. Oh, good shot. And perfect position. Well played.
8. Nine.
And after that, excellent first red he potted on the black. Good chance now.
A little
16.
surprise there. He didn't make an effort maybe to nudge the pink away from the red.
17.
Obviously he can play it this time. The only reason I hasn't said that because he's got a red over the far right corner. He's got one to the left middle. So no reason not to play the cannon. And no reason now he shouldn't win the frame at this visit. 35 points to lead.
24.
3 easy reds to go at.
$25.
Just that little bit too hard then. He needed to have a straight enough pink. As you can see, there's a cut now. If it's straight, it'd be easy to get on that red on the left centre. Carry on with the break. Oh, there's a good pot there. Very missable at that speed. He's settled down now.
31. 32.
Yep, that should be the winning ball. 49 points to lead, 43 remaining. And of course, if he
30.
pots this red, no way back to the table for Mark Williams.
$39.
He's taking these very well, Terry.
44. 45.
Yeah, so he looked a bit edgy early on. You'd expect that.
$49.
Because on to 49 didn't get on to the yellow. Enough, but I don't think it'll make any difference to Mark Williams. He's staying down in his chair, so Kishan has made things level at 1 frame each. Very well done.
Yeah, Mark Williams looking a little bit perplexed there, perhaps, but what a response by Kishan Hirani to going a frame down. 1-1 then, game on.
Yes, Kishan will have derived a lot of confidence in that second frame. Potted an excellent red to start things off. Finished very awkwardly on the side cushion. Going to have a look at it here. This was the red that he got in with. This cannon on the red didn't do him any favours at all. The brown doesn't pass the yellow. He can't get through to the yellow. The blue was horrible. Chose to take on the all-or-nothing black, really. It was fraught with danger. Knocked that in, and that must have by then given him so much confidence, and he went on to win the frame from there.
Fraught with danger, but tucked it away.
Great pot this was. He kept very still on the shot. It was a three-quarter ball pot. He knew position, provided he played it at the right pace, would take care of itself. And it did do, and very well played there for Kishan Hirani. That should hopefully give him some confidence now. 1-1, who knows?
Absolutely. Settle him down, give him that little bit of confidence. I suppose if you're coaching Kishan Hirani, what would you say to him? I guess don't leave the door open for Mark Williams, because if you do, he can be lethal.
Yes, but the minute you say that to somebody, it puts them under pressure. You don't do something, you know, you think it's sort of a don't do this at all costs sort of attitude, isn't it? You don't know how your opponent's going to play. Yes, he might be playing Ronnie or Mark Williams or Selby or somebody like that, or Judd Trump. You might think, crikey, they've been playing well lately. You know, I've got a tough match. You don't know how they're going to play, and they don't know how they're going to play. You've just got to do what you do best. Keep control of your game. Do what you can do best, and try as hard as you can, focus as hard as you can, and hopefully for your sake, it'll be good enough.
We talked earlier on about Mark Williams as he scratches his head there and waits for Hirani to come back in. You know, about the fact that he's not practiced an awful lot and he's partied a lot after winning the world title. How far off is he at the moment?
He'll probably say quite a long way off, but, you know, if he gets through this match and wins a couple more, he'll have had a lot of table time, his confidence will be quite high, and he'll know that he'll be capable, therefore, of winning the title come Sunday night.
He's been in this position plenty of times before, hasn't he, with a young challenger, but he's seen them off. It's 1-1 now, though. Let's see what he can do in response as he breaks off in frame 3.
Yeah, I always think when you get someone who's a very heavy favourite, as Mark Williams is in this match, just sort of a safety shot where he brought the black into play. I don't think he'd have done that against a top player, and as it turns out, it works against him. So you can never take an opponent too lightly, and particularly with these best-of-7 matches. So maybe Kishan Hirani winning that last frame might just sharpen the senses somewhat of Mark. Don't take liberties. Another super pot, but it needs to stop short of the bault line. He's okay. Got a choice of, well, you'd think probably the green will give him the better angle. But it's a chance, and particularly as the black is, well, certainly available into one corner pocket.
4.
Just overrun it a fraction. Now, can he somehow get the cue ball up the table for the blue? No.
5.
Couldn't avoid the kiss on the second and third reds. I think the pink will pot, but it's tricky. Yeah, just flick that one and then the other, but he's playing the pink. And it was too thin. Well,
5.
what a chance he's left Kishwan here. That's a good red to get away, and now the black available into both corner pockets. So Kishan now with an unbelievable opportunity. I've never seen him play before, but he doesn't lack anything in technique.
8.
Delivers the cue nicely. Obviously there'll be nerves out there, understandable.
9.
Could have done with being on this black a little straighter and that cue ball a little bit closer to the black. A little bit of stress in the shot now. There shouldn't have been. He played it nicely.
$16.
Well, there's a very good chance here, the way the balls are set. That in itself puts a bit of pressure on you, I'm afraid.
$17.
Maybe better to play the blue then. Get down for the reds and get on the black again. Leave the pink where it is. Perhaps you can save that for a bit later on.
$22.
Oh, this is a bonus. He's found a gap. There's always a gap. To clear that red. Well, as I say, it was a bonus. Now all set fair. It's just a case of holding yourself together. Disappointed with that. Just didn't get into it enough.
30.
And he had such margin for error. Should have been straight on this red.
31.
Now back in perfect position.
38. $39. $46. 47.
Well, he's taking these really well. 49 points the lead now.
54.
2 reds, 2 blacks would do it.
55.
As I say, he's got a lovely technique. Mark playing that pink in the middle, risky. And as it turns out, a couple of shots and it may well have cost him this frame. So 57
62.
ahead, 67 remaining. Once he pots this red, there's only 59 remaining, so this red and a colour, all that's needed.
63. Seventy.
Yeah, it's definitely
71.
another frame on the board for Kishan, and taking these very well into, I must say, it's stroking the ball nicely. You can say the balls were very well placed, and they were, but the truth of it is you get the feeling that if you miss a shot, the other player, like Mark Williams, is going to clear the table up. Pressure on every shot. Every shot demands your
79.
best you can do all the time. Concentration on every shot. So easy to miss one.
86.
Wow! Where did that come from?
And showing once again, he's got plenty of cue power. Now, wouldn't it be nice for him to make a century? And every chance
92.
this goes in. Gets in, you beauty. Beautiful.
93.
So drop the pink in, that'll be 99, and the yellow for the 100. Big moment, isn't it? Playing in your
99.
hometown, Cardiff. Playing the world champion. Superb. Absolutely superb. Well played.
104.
And I'll tell you what will make him feel good, Terry. He's now proved he's entitled to be out there. What a confidence boost this will give him.
108.
Mark Williams will have to shape up here. He's not going to fall over the line.
$113.
As Terry said, when Mark missed the pink into the middle, they were all there, but you've got to hold your nerve, you've got to take it.
119.
And that was absolutely brilliant and appreciated by this crowd at the Motorsport Arena in Cardiff, this young man's hometown. He leads the world champion 2-1.
Well, the home-time boy doing very well indeed. Tremendous stuff from Kishan Hirani. Just to update you on a few other results from around the arena. Players inside the world's top 30, really. Marco Fu, Anthony Hamilton and Liang Wenbo going through to round 2. And 4-0 wins as well for Robbie Williams and Martin O'Donnell. Well, there we go. We haven't yet got a really big story, but we might well do very shortly if Kishan Hirani keeps this up.
He'll be full of confidence now, there's no doubt about it. You know, Mark let him off the hook in the second frame, and Kishan played a couple of great shots, got the confidence going, and he's kept it going there. I mean, Mark took on a difficult pink in that last frame, and he probably felt pressure, as we all do. I know he got this sort of cool hand look about him, Mark Williams, at times, but he'd have been feeling the pressure on a shot like that because he knew it could cost him dearly if he'd have missed it. And he was put under pressure by the fact that he lost the previous frame, and maybe that contributed to that failure there on the pink.
I called it before it went in. I thought, yes, it's gone in, good shot, but no, he missed it. And you said it to me, didn't you, as we were watching that game? I mean, he's growing in confidence, Hirani, with every pot.
Yes, well, he's a very good player. I've practiced with him many times. He's a classy player. He's got good cue action, keeps still on the shot, and he's got the ability to score well, and we're seeing it now. I mean, it just shows the strength of depth, doesn't it, in snooker? I mean, Kishan Hirani is ranked 122 in the world. There are only 6 players below him on the snooker tour, and this is what he's capable of. Yeah,
you wouldn't know it, would you? And he looks pretty composed as well, waiting for the game to resume. But at what point does the doubt start to really creep into Mark Williams' mind? I mean, you know, he's a senior, veteran player, but he's only human.
Right now, I mean, this is Mark's home tournament, of course, as well. You know, and he's 2-1 down, best of 7. If he loses this next frame, he's on the ropes. Kishan Hirani, it's his hometown. He's actually a Cardiff boy. I'm sure he's been to the Motor Point Arena many times watching, I don't know, Bay City Rollers, I don't know, but he'll be familiar with the venue and the surroundings, and he's loving every minute.
I'm not sure the last time the Bay City Rollers played this arena, but I take your point, yeah, he's probably been here to watch someone play.
Something.
Not necessarily then. Right, anyway, let's go back in then. He leads 2-1. What a moment this is for him. Hirani breaking then in frame 4.
A little bit too thick then, hitting the back of the reds, and the ball hasn't gone down towards the ball cushion. Chance here for Mark Williams. Very close. I think he played for the pink in the middle. Lost a bit of momentum then. He's got to potted that and get down towards the reds and the pink and black. But he'd been off again. Amazing. Amazing. How did the skill ball manage to end up there? I don't know. Very fine cut. Oh, guess that red out of the problem. Things not going Mark's way at the moment. We're not going to give up on him, that's for sure.
No, this is where his experience will come in. Looks like he'll come round of 2 cushions just to nestle up to the black, but he doesn't want to hit this too hard. Well, if he goes up for a baulk colour, which is the easy way out, if you like, he might have a few goals at this. What's he going to say? Brown or yellow? Green. All green. Oh, what a good hit. What a good hit. Ah, well played.
Mark Williams won.
Didn't get any points for it, but it could have been costly the way the misrule works. Yeah, he could clearly hit the reds, but didn't fancy a pass back to Bork. If he'd hit that red just a fraction the other side, he'd left the red just above the black. I think that maybe a red goes to the right middle, but it's risky, and at the moment I don't think Mark Williams would want him to take too many risks. Wouldn't want to fall 3-1 behind in a best of 7. That was a very good safety shot. Just poses a slight problem here for Kishan, because there's no obvious path back to the Bork end, and it's not a case of coming round off 2 cushions rolling into a red. As you can see, they're all spread. I suppose the only thing I could think of is trying to put the cue ball near the jaws of this right corner pocket, but where's the red going to go? He's running into. That's about the best he could do, but he still leaves a pot to the middle.
One.
Yeah, good clean pot. Just run a fraction too far though. So tucking up behind the yellow.
Williams 1.
So Kishan comes back to the table with another problem to solve. And this one obviously a lot more difficult because he can't get directly to a red.
There's been a bit of everything here in this match so far. I think it's a lot of good safety and some good long potting and breaks, of course. Mark Williams made a 76 in the first frame, and Kishan made a 49 in the second and 126 in the third. So it's good stuff, high quality.
Foul. No miss. Mark Williams 4.
Wouldn't even get out of the seat, just have it replaced. I'm not certain the way he went there is on. He's trying to make contact with the red on the extreme left, thinking if he can just nudge into that cluster, he wouldn't leave anything. But I'm not certain. When it comes off he's going off the Bork cushion, side cushion, then when he hits the other side cushion, he's just going to slide a little bit. That's why I'm not certain this is on. We'll see this time. Played it a bit firmer so he didn't slide as much.
Foul. No miss. Mark Williams 4.
And that's the only way he can do it, is to play it a bit firmer. He got mighty close, in all honesty, but with the reds as they are, with the miss rule, if you don't hit one, it's going to be replaced. Try number 3. Now this one will slide past him again this time, by a long way.
Foul. No miss.
So it might
Mark
have to
Williams
be a
4.
change attack here. I know what he's trying to do. Is it on?
having another go. Now then. I think John's right, it's not on really. The only way you could get the cue ball to straighten up off the second cushion is hit it a lot harder, and obviously then if it doesn't hit the res, he's going to leave something on. He hasn't given up. Fair play to him.
Yeah. Well, when he did play it firmer, he nearly hit the red, and it'd have been a perfect escape. It had just flicked the red, but the less pace, the more it's going to slide off the third cushion. Well, he got there in the end, but the way he's walking away from the table, I think he may have left the red on. There was a little bit of disgust in the twirl. There you see it.
1.
Mark will obviously love to pot this black and play for the red just above it. Played it well. Good chance now.
8. Nine. 14. 15. 20.
Just a little bit short of pace there, and he's, of course he can pot the red, but you cannon the red next to it.
21.
Not sure if he got a slight angle. Looks like it. Just a matter of there's a nice group of reds there, but they don't all go. One's covering another as usual. He's got enough on the blue there, but he's going to have to probably come into the reds if he can generate enough pace off that angle. Touch of left hand side. You may have spotted one in the middle somewhere. He doesn't miss much, Mark Williams. Oh, he's got a cannon. Come out fine.
26.
Now then. Chance of another century in this
27.
match. He's going to have to make a few cannons first with these reds to just loosen them out, make them all available.
$34.
Yeah, tall guy is Mark, but even he can't reach this. Used to hate this piece of equipment. I preferred the swan neck. The advantage with that, he didn't have to do anything with the cue ball, just roll the red in automatically on the black. This black will put him 60 points in the lead. It's a false score in a way because of the number of penalty points that Kishan gave away.
$42.
16 penalty points gave away, so still looking for 2 or 3 of these remaining reds to clinch the frame.
43.
In fact, his stopping looks, or tells me he's a little bit too straight on this black for comfort, and he is. Bit of work to do with the cue ball. Well, he's landed on a red
50.
to the far left corner. It's frame ball. This to go 69 points in front with just 67 remaining. Is it there? It is.
51.
Well played. And now, as Terry said, chance of another century in this match. High quality.
$58. $59. $66. Mark Williams, 66 and 3. Okay.
What a shame there. He looks a good chance of a century, but Mark Williams will be happy enough. They go for 66, and now he draws level with Kishan Hirani at 2 frames each.
That's the stat attack as far as Mark Williams is concerned. A very memorable year, of course, with that World Championship success in 2018 in Sheffield. As far as this game's concerned, 2-2. What a match this is proving to be. But obviously Mark giving a bit of a helping hand there with Hirani giving away 16 points.
Yes, he was in a bit of a tight spot there, snookered the way he was, and if he'd have glanced off the red that he actually struck in the end, he'd have been safe. He almost did on a second or third attempt of the shot that he played, and fortunately, though, he did leave Mark that opportunity, and this time Mark did take full advantage to level the matchup. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily going to go all the way, this, but the standard from both players in the last sort of 4 frames has been very, very high.
So here he comes then, Mark Williams back in, a little puff of the cheeks. He looks a little bit happy that he did a frame ago.
Yes, but there's still going to be a lot of pressure on Mark, as indeed there will be on Kishan. This next frame is very important. If either player goes 3-2 ahead, they'll feel confident they can maybe run out a winner.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We could have another hour or so to play, or we'll see whether he wraps things up from here. But it's all to play for. 2-2.
Worst possible break-off shot. Whatever you do, don't hit the blue. And you can see the annoyance on his face. Careless. Caught the end red much too thin. That's why. It gives the first chance to Kishan. But not taken. Not taken, and he'll be disappointed to have missed that. There's a chance to punish Mark for that poor break-off. Purposely screwing back to the ballcam, which always makes the pot a lot more difficult. But he didn't want to risk all on the pot. See the cue ball heading back to the baulk cushion for safety. It's one of those situations now with the balls open, pink and black available. Mistake from either player could be costly. Oh, how many of those does he float in? Unbelievable. But has he got an angle on the blue? Well, obviously not a good one. That's why he's immediately looking at the brown. Missed one of these earlier in the match. He's got a slight angle on the brown. It's the fact that he looked at it tells you that. And he has. Doesn't want to miss this one though. Oh, good pot. That was an excellent shot.
5.
Mark Williams commits himself to the shot irrespective of what's on. If he misses, that's the way he plays, and I think all the great champions are the same. Mark Williams, of course, 3 times world champion now. He beat his fellow Welshman Matthew Stevens, and then beat Ken Doherty, and then John Higgins. And who's to say he's not going to win more than that? He hasn't put everything into his game since the World Championships, he's admitted to that, but he'll be back there. Always a tough opponent, hard to beat.
$15. 16.
Just deciding how to play this. I think when the black's respotted, the red that's to the left of the black spot may not be available. Has he come far enough? Is black going to ruin everything when it's on its spot? Certainly is. That's what he was worried about, and his worst fears came about. So it's a good chance. It's gone now. Trying to cover a path back to baulk with the green. May well have done. Kishan having a good look. You can get through to the red on the left hand side of the table, but that doesn't take him back to baulk. You won't want to be risking playing a pot on that red. I think he can get past the brown, but sometimes if you've got no pot, or you've got no safety, you might as well play the pot. But this is risky. Oh, well. Shot of the match. How many times do we see it though when a player can't see a safety, force into the pot, and well, that was a tremendous shot. Give himself a chance now. Oh well, what a shame. What a shame.
Yeah, one.
Done all the hard work, you would have thought. And then misses the black off its spot.
One.
And they say in all the sport that mistakes is what costs you the most. You can play plenty of good shots, but once the mistakes start to come in, sort of start to think about things that you wouldn't do in practice. So all you've got to do in this game is line the shot up, live with the cue, and play for the next ball. That's it. It's the only thoughts you should have.
9.
That's what Mark Williams does, that's for sure. Doesn't mess about.
Well,
Mark Williams 9.
what on earth happened there? I can only assume he didn't hit the centre of the cue ball. Nowhere near the pot. That's very unlike Mark, because he's got one of the best temperaments in the game. But these best of sevens, and I'll always say it,
1.
it's a bit of a roller coaster ride. Can't see what other red he can play for here, but the one that's round about the pink spot. Maybe there's another one a bit below that will go, but well, he's trying to make something happen. Oh, and couldn't have made it happen any better than that.
3.
Well, he's got the shots, and he's certainly not afraid to play them. Wow.
Okay, Hirani 3.
It's the most amazing thing. I mean, he played a good shot there. He's come nicely on the red. All he's thinking about is the cannon on the red next to the black, and completely took his eye off the pot. Things that can happen on this table, it's unbelievable.
I think you got to put a touch of side on there, John, to make the pot in angle.
1.
But, it still went thick. You had to hit it too hard. If you'd hit it gentle, it probably would have gone in, but he wouldn't be on a colour.
But as you alluded to a few moments earlier, Terry, I bet he wouldn't have missed that on the practice table.
Seven. Eight.
Inch perfect on the pink. Well, after what's happened in this frame, I'd take nothing for granted, and I'm certain Mark won't. But now he's perfect on the red, surely. End of frame. That
14.
red is occupying the black spot. We know that. That's why the pink went up on the blue spot a
15.
few shots ago, but it shouldn't make any difference. This black to go 50 points in front. Still 59 remaining, so red and a colour. black will go on the highest available, which is the blue.
22.
So red in the colour to go one away from victory. Could have been oh so different. Kishan Hirani has missed two golden opportunities in this frame. But that should be the frame clincher. 57 points the lead. 51 remaining,
29.
but not for long.
Third. Seven. $38. $45. 46. 53. 55. 58. 62. 67. 73.
Good stuff from Mark Williams, but you weren't thinking early on, perhaps, of having such a hard match, the way Kishan Hirani has played. But for a few mistakes, it could have been anything could have happened, to be honest here, but that's it now. Mark Williams 3-2 in front.
Yeah, 3-2 in front, having been 2-1 down, and Mark Williams now just one frame away from a place in round two. We'll find out very shortly if he can make it through. But we talked a lot, haven't we, about Mark Williams' game and the strengths and the weaknesses. What about Mark Williams? What does he think about the other players on the circuit and their best bits?
Best technique would have to be Ronnie O'Sullivan for me. His stance, his cue action, just everything about it is, you know, if he was a youngster growing up, that's what to strive for. That's a tough one. Break building has to be Ronnie O'Sullivan. I think everyone got to agree with that. He's on 900 odd century breaks, probably going to get to 1,000 in the next 12 to 18 months, and it's just, there's no better break builder up there than him. Best safety player, well, I've seen anyway, without doubt, is Ronnie O'Sullivan. I've never played Ray Raiden, he's supposed to have been unbelievable as well, but the best I've played without a doubt is Ronnie O'Sullivan. Temperament, I think, would be John Higgins. If it was ever a man who'd want to clear up and win on the black in a deciding frame, with all the pressure you can have and everything on the line, he'd be the one I'd want to clear up for me. Technically, it's the same kind of thing as safety, really. It's Ronnie O'Sullivan all day. He puts you in positions, you know, you can't really get out of, and very difficult. He plays, his safety game is so good. He never comes off one cushion. He always uses 2 or 3 cushions side all the time, and just puts you in positions where, you know, you were knackered basically.
Well, always good to hear what players think of each other. Mark Williams there with his verdict on some of the greats of the game, and he's one of them, of course, world champion, leading 3-2 in the opening round of the Welsh Open 2019. Dominic, which one of those matters most now? Temperament, technique, tactics, experience?
Thank you.
Well, I think when the pressure's really on you, you need a good temperament, but technique can really hold you up in good stead when the pressure's on. You can almost pot a pressure ball just by technique, just keeps you in sync, and you know, it's tough out there now.
It's tough out there, that's for sure. Let's see whether Kishan Hirani has got resilience. 3-2 now, the lead for Mark Williams.
Well, I started off with a decent break-off shot, but it was just a couple of unforeseen errors, really, that cost him the last frame. I know it looked a bit of a walkover for Mark Williams when you look at the score for that fifth frame, but it was anything but. Kishan had two glorious chances, which he got in himself, one with an unbelievable pot and missed the black off the spot. And you can't afford to do that at this level and against this class of opponent. Well, that's a decent safety. Give Mark something to think about. Touch of a surgeon. Beautifully judged. Well, the referee will have a look. Surely they're touching. Yeah, bound to be. That cue ball hit those reds. It was like it's in a red brick wall. Needs to miss the green though for it to be a good safety. He'll be a little bit disappointed there. And that's not a bad target now behind green and brown. Well, a chance of a pot. That top red obviously goes. Yeah, nicely played. And played it very confidently indeed.
One.
Stroked it in beautifully, left the cue ball well short of the baulk line, so he had choice of baulk colours. Now, can he cut out that unforced error?
3. Four. Ten. Eleven.
Straighter on this black would have been better. He can't avoid the kiss now on the red just below the black. So he's going to have to play a little cannon here and Hope he knocks it into a possible position. A little bit careless. Just those fractions, those little fractions of being straight or just too far off straight.
18.
That decides whether a break comes to an end or not. But I admit, though, he could have played it better.
Kishan Hirani, 18.
Played a good safety there, and Mark Williams has had to come and have a look around, because he could hit the red past the blue there and up and down and put the white on the black cushion, as we say, but there's a red there, so he can't play that shot really unless he gets the cue ball right in the right corner pocket. Oh, well, a fraction there. One of John's fractions there. Another inch the other way, and it'd been a red on there.
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether the red immediately above the black. Well, obviously you can't see enough of it, because I think Kishan had played it by now. Now there you see, he just can't get enough of it. So it was a clever shot, really, by Mark. As Terry said, he couldn't just drop the cue ball near the top cushion and left a pot on. But you want to be very careful here. The last thing that Mark Williams will want is this match to go to a decider. Where's the cue ball going?
Foul.
Mm.
Kishan Hirani, 4.
Okay, he might not have left anything, as we see it again. Caught it much too thin, that was the reason he went in off, and he knew as soon as it was heading towards that pocket, it was going to go in. Now, there's a couple of pots on here to the right corner, but with the black not being available, it's not going to be easy to get on a colour. As we've seen throughout this match, got good technique, good long potter. But that one caught much too full. Bit of unintentional side on that. Now has he got away with it, or has he left Marcus easy starter? Yeah, a bit of unintentional side on that. And there you see, he has left this red. He was looking to play for the green, and he'll still play the green probably, but I think he wanted a slightly more angle than this. Having a look at the black, but work to do with the cue ball. Green was his first choice. Didn't want to be straight on it as he is. No. He wanted to have a little bit more angle than that, so
Mark Williams, 1.
a little bit edgy out there at the moment. And as I say, the last thing he'd want is for this to go to a decider, because that really is a toss of a coin.
Just caught that a little thick and stopped the run of the ball down to the bog. He's covered the one on the right pocket, so no problem there. Now then, can you get through to one of those reds? Awkward now to play a good safety shot. Well, you can see this red. It's just a matter of what colour he can play for. If he hits it too hard, he may cannon near the red. Oh, he still cannoned it.
One.
So obviously he played for the black, but that cannon has cost him. Just the safety for now. Keep it tight.
Kishan Hirani, 1.
Yeah, that was asking a lot, but I don't think there's any harm done there. Always going to be difficult to get that cue ball back to the balk end. Once he kissed the second red, he could have left something, but doesn't appear to. Just got to be careful here, running this red round the tail. He didn't collide into the green. Well, he avoided that by playing the up and down. Oh, this could be good. This could be good. Risky. Oh, we nearly got a smile there. He's got the snooker. Not certain to get this safe. Not certain to get this safe at all.
Foul. No miss. Kishan Hirani, 4.
Miss obviously will be called. I suppose in a way, I was thinking at first, Terry, he might be wanting to hit that red near the black, but the red he was on the way to hitting would be the best one. Doesn't want to really bring the black into play, if he can help it. Short again. Is he short?
Foul. No miss. Kishan Hirani, 4.
Just take 2 points for that. I think it's it's so close to the red.
Well, the misrule obviously is. I mean, the players accept it now, but we remember when he first came in. I mean, he seemed very unfair, didn't it? Well, he's hard enough this time. But which red is he going to hit? Oh, he's played it perfectly. Good shot. Kishan's got a 30-point lead. And the way the reds are, it's a decent lead. Particularly those 5 reds clustered over on the right-hand side of the table. Mark will be cursing this pink. This red just above the black will cut, but as you can see, hampered cueing. This is going to take some shot. Well, as I always say with that type of shot, better to hit it too thin than too thick. So be reasonably satisfied with the outcome, although he has left a pot on here. You won't put it past this young man to knock this in. Oh! Thank goodness for gravity. That stopped. Let's have a look at this again. Someone stamped the foot or something? Anyway, it went in.
Six.
Well, that's not a bad kiss, you know. He's got this one. He's got one to the right middle. He's not even looked at. Can he see enough of this? He could.
7.
He puts his hand up and apologises because it was a fortuitous kiss that he got on those two reds. Right. Well, he can't reach because he's got the reds that are on the table. But this is a chance, this. Black available into both corners. 44 points in lead. Let's work it out.
14.
44 points in lead. 3 reds, 3 blacks. That could put him 68 points in front with 67 remaining. That's what he's trying to work out. If he can stay on the black. Felt he couldn't hold for the black, so he's going to need, after this blue, 3 more of these remaining reds. It's not going to be easy.
Point. 21.
Well, it was a good effort
26.
to try and get on one of the, well, the red closest to the left corner, but never going to be easy to do that. Tender break, but he's got a 56-point lead, 75 remaining. And a nice safety to finish with. Taking that opportunity to bring all the reds into play. Well, he's got a decent cue ball, but it's not perfect by any means. He's got this red. If he knocks it in, could take us to a decider. Big, big shot. Well played. Well, I've got to give him every credit. His cue action, his technique, he's really standing in good stead on these long pots. They've done that without the kiss on the second red, but well, 90% long pot success. I mean, that is good. I always think Mark Williams be acceptable, 64%. Because a lot of the long pots are played as shots for nothing. Needs this blue and one more red. Oh dear me, missed that by an awful long way. An awful long way.
Took a long time there. Once the heat comes on, you tend to try too hard, just not go the natural way you do when you're practicing. Took a long time to decide playing that. Well, he had to play it, it's just that He didn't fancy it, I don't think, in the end, but he went for it. Still in a good position, though, in this frame.
Oh. Mark Williams 4.
If it doesn't drop, it would have been the perfect safety. So here's Mark Williams. Got a chance to get right back in the frame. Pressure on this though. Oh, well, he thought it was in. He was walking. But it's not gone in. And the decider is now staring him right square in the face.
One.
Fair play when he played this, give every chance, and at that pace he thought it was close enough to drop, but it didn't. And now he needs a snooker. 61 ahead, 59 remaining. Pot this red
8.
and another black, and no way back to the table for the world champion.
9.
And we will have a deciding frame.
$16. 17. 24. Kishan Hirani 24 and frame.
Mark Williams doesn't want to know any more about that frame. And all of a sudden, despite nobody thinking it was going to happen, it's a deciding frame against the world champion. How good is Kishan? Now he'd be really, really pleased he's got this far and playing so well.
I think we're going to find out very shortly just how good Kishan Hirani is. No one might have expected it, but we are heading into a final frame decider, and we will be staying with it all the way through until the conclusion. We'll talk to Dominic in a moment, but let's update you on table 2, because Shaun Murphy, who was runner-up here 13 years ago, a former world champion as well, going through pretty comfortably with a 4-1 win over Adam Stefano, who's a Polish player who is based in Sheffield. One of the most popular players on the circuit, Shaun Murphy, fair to say?
Yeah, and one of the greatest. From a technical aspect, he's just got the most beautiful rhythmical cue action. Keeps so still on the shot. He's a wonderful player to watch, Shaun Murphy. Hasn't done as well, I'm sure, as he'd like to have done of late. So he'll need to put in some good performances now on the run into the World Championships, I feel.
And he is a player, we've seen him on the end of some shocks here in Cardiff, haven't he? He's gone out early on a few occasions over the last few years. Yeah, and he's gone out early for a few tournaments this season as well. Hasn't had the best of seasons. Just lacking in a bit of confidence probably because of that, and needs a good run here, I think. So Shaun Murphy is making his way through to the next round. We're just seeing the final few balls of that one. A missed black by Stefanov, the handshake, and Shaun Murphy goes through to round 2 with a 4-1 win. So he is through. The question is who's going to go through from this game? I mean, is it anyone's guess? Is it the toss of a coin, as the guys have been saying in the commentary box? I wouldn't like to call it. I mean, if either player gets a golden opportunity, maybe they can make a frame-winning break, who knows? But from what we've seen in the last couple of frames, it's getting a little bit edgy out there. Mutual respect, I think, between these two. A handshake and Mark Williams to break in this final frame. Which way is it going to go? Who knows?
Well, that's the break-off shot. A lot better than the last one he played. when he caught the blue full in the face. There's pressure on him now, and this is where always experience and temperament, because that's going to play a lot to do with this deciding frame, because that's the one thing he has, you think, an advantage over Kishan. I don't know if Mark can get past the yellow. Even if he can, it's not the easiest of pots. Yeah, it's one of those that it's risky, and to get on a colour you'd have to play it with a bit of side. I think if he could hit it full in the face, he may well just kick the red back up the table. He's having a look at the red this corner, but that's too risky. And the last thing he wants to do is gift wrap chances to his opponent at this stage of the match. Well, he decided he could do it, just flick the green. But it's okay. He's flicked the green, but left himself a nice angle. And that red just above the black, he's waiting. And played it perfectly. Good shot. So just what you need in a decider. First chance.
5. Twelve. 13.
Yeah, he made a mistake previous. He didn't play for the pink. He played for the black.
19.
He's misjudged that positional shot, so he got first chance, but he's not going to get any more than 19 off it. It's even a bad score at crib.
Mark Williams, 19.
It was a good safety shot. Very good. Didn't put the black in a safe position, which is good, but in another way it stopped Mark Williams going over that side. Unless he just rolls up to it. Yeah. Oops, it's fallen off a bit. Oh, that makes things awkward now. That red goes past the black. That's right next to it, but then you can't do nothing about it. He's not going to play a plant there, surely. One red onto the other.
It's funny though, isn't it, when you look from behind the pocket, you're like, oh, simple plan.
It's got to cover this red, the one next to the black. Should be okay. Full ball cover. Very good. Well, he's very lucky if he's covered that. He miscued, he did, and he has covered it.
Yeah, I thought it sounded funny when he cued it. And for one moment, I thought he was going to knock the black in. This red that's just to the right of the black spot will cut to the corner. One thing he's got to be wary of is leaving the red that's just to the right of the black. Oh, well, that was... well, he was thinking he might be able to play one red in off another, but the main thing is he's got that blue covering the line to the red.
Good stuff here now. It's both players, of course, a little bit edgy in the deciding frame of the first round of the Welsh Open. Nobody wants to get knocked out at that stage. Ooh, it's tight. Can't get to the potting angle. He hit the red straight on, but not. Can't get to the right of it as we look.
It's amazing, isn't it? This red keeps staying near the corner, and once again, no path through to it. Is it a plant? It was. Oh, and that's a little unlucky.
One.
In fact, if he can't hit a colour, that's very unlucky.
Brown ball.
Dominating the brown, he knows if he hits it, he'll leave the cue ball near the baulk cushion. Couldn't have played it much better than that. Oh, that's excellent now. Made it awkward cueing. So he may get the next chance. But he's a wily old fox, is Mark. Didn't panic and played that containing safety shot as good as you could have played it.
cut the red too thick. Went into the pack of reds. What's he left here now? The black's gone safe, of course, but the pink's out in the open. Whether it goes back in his own spot is another matter. He's had a few good looks there. Looks like there's a straight plant here. The 2 balls by the pink.
One.
No. Good starter. Got to be careful now with his positional play. Pretty good throughout the match.
Six.
Big moments now in the fledgling career of Kishan Hirani. Could make a name for himself here. That's a poor positional shot though.
7.
Wrong side of the blue, close to the cushion. A lot of work to do with the cue ball to get close to the next intended red.
Be careful here. Oh, tremendous shot. Oh, very unfortunate. Those type of shots, you've got to hit it quite hard and hitting down into the cue ball. A very, very missable shot, but you've got to make sure you pot the blue. If you lose position, you still got the opportunity, of course, to play a shot and keep things safe. He's looking at another plant there. He had one to start this break. Just haven't got the right position. So important when you're under extreme pressure.
Okay, 9. 12.
Yeah, it was a good chance, and he'd be disappointed he didn't get more. As Terry said, as long as you pot the ball, you get the chance to play the next shot. And, well, Mark's already hit one of these 2 full. But not that one.
1.
Well, Kiss on the blue has left the cue ball in the middle of the table. It's not the perfect position on the colour, but at least the red went in. Got to be careful here. I don't know how close this cue ball might go to the left middle pocket here when potting the green. It's going to go, well, he maybe played with a little bit of check and played it really well. And this is possibly where his greater experience and ring craft will come in. He'll feel the pressure, but you just get the feeling with all his experience he'll cope with it a lot better than Kishan did on his last visit. Looks like he's thinking when the pink's respotted, it won't go on its own spot. It'll go on the black spot possibly and be tied up. So could make things a little bit awkward. He'll be hoping that the pink is on the black spot. This is a big decision here. Referee thinks it does go on the black spot, which looks as though it ties the pink up.
11, sorry.
And if that's the case, he's really only got yellow, green or blue to play for. Desperately hoping that pink went on the blue spot. Not to be.
Well, another difficult shot here, positional shot anyway. You should pot the yellow. Only just. 20 points in front. But once again, well, he could play across the blue and green here and bring the blue into play. Oh.
15.
Oh.
Dear me. There's a few of these that are definitely what we call wiping the feet. What's this red? I mean,
17.
that pace, I'm amazed it went in. Gotta be honest. But there's a
18.
couple of opportunities that Mark could have played for green or blue and got the blue particularly to get it on its spot, but he's quite happy to chip away at this yellow. And slowly but surely he's building up that frame when in lead, but that needs to run on a bit. Don't think he's far enough. He's not. Play for the red just to the right of the pink. He won't fancy the one along the top cushion. That's much too risky. Got a 26-point lead. I mean, if the pink isn't kissing into another red, I wouldn't mind playing the red, the other side of the pink. You're guaranteed a good cue ball. Try and find the baulk cushion and use the green and blue as a blocker. He doesn't fancy that. Well, I suppose he thought, well, the only red I could leave was the one I'm playing. He didn't try. He's just trying to get a red off the table, really. I could understand his reticence to bring the pink into play. Pink at the moment and the black tied up. Why make it easy for your opponent? Well, he's played that, so I assume that Mark can't see enough of the red on the other side of the pink. He's obviously can see the other red, this straight red, which he can't get on. Those two reds are a definite plant into the corner pocket. Do well not to leave a pot on if he plays on the right hand side of those two reds.
There's no straightforward safety here. And you have the ball around at times, you know. He played the right shot there, roll up behind the black. There's no other option. Now, is he going to try and roll the red in off the side cushion? There's a straight red there, you can put it in the right corner. I mean, it's a really difficult shot. So he's just trying to skim this. Oh, he's missed it. Oh. I'll have to have a look at this again. There's something happened here, I can tell you. He's hit the pink.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, unless my eyes and your eyes are deceiving me, I don't... It wasn't given. Well, that's amazing. As I say, I mean, it looked as though the red he was trying to clip very thin, he didn't hit. But knowing Mark as I do, if maybe he did flick it, because I'm sure he'd have said to the referee, look, that was a foul.
1.
Now it's just a cozy up behind the green and blue. And 27-point lead. Can you see it? Can we see it? Well, I saw nothing move but the pink there.
One.
Right, it's just dropped in. So it's still right in this frame. If he pots the blue, we go 21 points behind. I can't see a colour that he could pot and get the snooker, so I think that's why he's considering just playing the snooker behind the pink. Thinking, and this is one of the problems with the miss rule, he might get more points out of misses than he will out of potting the blue. Although it's quite a big target. And it's a good hit. Now then, does Kishan take the ball by the horns here, play a good safety and try and bring these 3 balls into play? You'd like to try and get in behind the brown. Don't let the pinks in the way though. Don't let the pinks in the way. It was. So Mark Williams gets his chance to clinch frame and match.
One.
Still needs the last red, which is why he's playing the snooker.
Mark Williams 1.
27 points, the lead. 35 remaining. It was a good hit. This red does cut, but it's dangerous if he misses it. He has missed it, but it's run safe. But you look where the colours are. 27 points lead or not. If Kishan Hirani gets next chance, he could be favourite for the match. Main priority here, get the object ball safe. Do not leave a sniff at a pot. Do not leave a sniff at a pot, because that could be your last shot in this year's Welsh Open. And it will be. Mark's anxiously looking to the path of the cue ball, but it's no problem. And he's got the black to follow. So every credit to Kishan Hirani. I think at the end of the day, Terry, just that little bit of inexperience, not playing at this level that often, has just caught him out.
Right.
Yes, I agree with that. He's up against a very tough competitor, obviously, and I think he's done exceptionally well in getting the deciding frame, but he may be a little bit disappointed now. He had half a chance in this frame.
Seventeen.
Mark Williams looks as if he doesn't mind if he loses, but don't you ever believe it. Oh. Well, that's the end of that then. Been a great match, I must say. Could have gone either way, but it's Mark Williams, our world champion from Wales, who's taken the winning frame, and he's 4-3 there. Goes into the next round.
And a bit of a rueful smile on Mark Williams' face as he leaves the arena, having got through. We can't say comfortably through, because it was anything but, Dominic, but he is through. What a match.
A great match, really, very exciting. Went on quite a while, didn't it? But I think a win's a win from Mark's point of view. He'll put that behind him now. He knows he was a little vulnerable there. Kishan played very, very well to be as competitive as he was. Showed what he's capable of, that wonderful 126 break that we saw earlier from him. He'll be disappointed. He had a couple of great opportunities in that deciding frame, but as John alluded to in the commentary box, maybe a little bit of inexperience at this particular level. When he had the chance to do something, he just couldn't quite do it.
We talked about that earlier on, didn't we? We said that you just can't give a player of Mark Williams' calibre a little glimmer of opportunity, and that's exactly what happened in that final frame there, and it was game over.
Yes, I mean, ordinarily I'd say that's true, but today Mark did need multiple chances in the majority of the frames that he won to clinch them, and he won't be best pleased with his performance, but he's had a bit of table time. If he doesn't feel he's prepared properly for the event or hasn't practiced as much as he'd like to, you know, that table time could be invaluable to him, and he might be glad that it was a long match.
Certainly gave a really good account of himself, didn't he? So 10 Welsh players left in the draw. Kishan Hirani follows Ryan Day and Matthew Stevens out of the tournament. Remember, they went out a little bit earlier on. One for the future, though. I mean, he's not a youngster. We can't say he's 28 years of age, but how far can he go?
Well, as you say, he's 28. The problem is his ranking of 122 it's going to be tough for him to remain on the tour, and then he'll have to do it all again through a Q school to get back on the tour, and he might be 30 years old then, you know, but he'll gain a lot of experience on this anyway, and that will, you know, stand him in good stead for the remainder of the season, what's left of it. There aren't many
He
tournaments
certainly
now.
will, playing against a man of this quality. Mark Williams, many congratulations through to round 2. Little chuckle, though, because did you expect a game as tough as that?
No, I thought it was fancy dress for a minute.
Okay.
No, I was expecting a tough game because, you know, it was only best of 7s, and I think, you know, by the betting, I think he was either 33 or 50 to 1 outsider, but, I mean, there's no way anyone should be that priced at the best of 7.
Do you look at things like that, though, the odds?
No, not really. It was just, I just seen it, I think, somewhere, and I thought, no one's that priced at the best of 7, you know, especially with the players these days, and, you know, you could have beat me there.
How were you feeling when you were 2-1 down?
I didn't think I'd done too much wrong. I mean, he had a couple of good breaks, he had a good 100. I missed a tricky pink in the middle, which I probably shouldn't have gone for. Left the balls there, but you still got to take them, and he took them well. And I thought his safety was really good. He had me in a lot of trouble all the time. Like I said, the last frame could have gone either way.
Yeah, there were a few errors, weren't there, throughout the game? You mentioned that, and he perhaps just a few too many errors. He let you back in there right at the end,
possibly.
didn't he?
You're always going to get errors with me in my game. That's just the way I am. But you know, I could have easily lost that. I'm happy to get through, but you know, I've got to play a lot better.
You've talked about life since the World Championship victory, and you said that you haven't practised nowhere near enough. Have you practised perhaps a little bit more ahead of this tournament?
I wouldn't say I haven't practised enough. I haven't practised, period, nothing. This is the most practice I've played this week. Last week I had all week practising, and that's the most I've done, and I'm going to try and carry that now through up until at the end of the World.
What's your hunger like at the moment then? I mean,
you're starving. I'm not.
Yeah, I thought you might say that. Dominic's off for a mixed grill in the moment if you want to join in for that one.
Right, go and get his first prize.
In terms of your appetite
Kebab.
to win snooker tournaments, and this one in particular, how keen are you to do it?
I keep saying it every year. It's about time a Welshman got to the later stages because none of us have done very good. I think Ryan's already lost, Matthew's already lost. You know, if it's not myself, it'd just be nice for someone to get through to the later stages, but
Nicely Jackson doing something, wasn't it? You know, because he's great at
well, yeah, he's in it. I mean, he's playing that Zing Tong. It's probably be the quickest best of 7 we'll ever see between them pair. But no, anyone Welsh, you know, get to carry the flag, because we've all been going out really early for the last 10, 15 years. I don't think any of us have done anything.
Well, I always go out early. I do.
Are you in this one?
I am. I actually won today.
Plays John Higgins in the next.
I've seen you on the live scoring.
Got your buddy in there. Got John Higgins.
Yeah, 20 years since we had a Welshman. Mark Williams winning the tournament.
It's ridiculous,
99.
really.
Doesn't seem that long, though, because I saw you win this.
I can't remember when this is that long.
20 years ago. It's incredible how quickly time flies.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Like I said, you know, we got a lot of good players coming through, but for some reason, including myself, we just don't seem to produce the good year.
You mentioned Ryan Day and Matthew Stevens going out, and you're still here. I mean, the old guard, perhaps, just about, you know. I mean, what about the youngsters? I mean, Hirani, is he one you can see going all the way?
His experience, I mean, I don't think he's played on the TV that much, has he? But, you know, he didn't play too bad. You know, safety, made a lot of errors, but you expect that live on the TV. You're only going to improve if you keep playing on there, keep playing the players, and hopefully do a lot better next time.
He certainly gave you a scare today, didn't he?
Yeah.
I haven't got a poem for you, by the way, this year. I read your poem last week. We had one tweeted in, but maybe by the end of the week I'll have one for you. We'll see how far you go. Thanks very much, Mark. The world champion through then to round 2, and the man that Mark beat at Sheffield also through, John Higgins, a little bit earlier on. What about tonight then? More live snooker coming up. We have Mark Allen, the Scottish Open champion, playing Mark Joyce, and our main game facing Harvey Chandler, one of snooker's biggest stars, a man in great form at the moment, the Masters champion, Judd Trump.
I'm really excited to play Ronnie in the final. As a kid is sort of what you aspire to be, and to be playing him in front of a massive crowd in London, in front of his home crowd, is going to be a great day for me. I've proven that I'm a good player, but I think obviously everyone looks back at the end of your career, it's how many majors you've won, so I think for me it's obviously important to go out and try and win as many as possible.
I've always had a lot of self-belief, but I think until you go out there and do it and prove it to other people, because I obviously see what I do in practice and I know my game's there, but to come out here and try and play Ronnie always looks so relaxed, and I'm there just shaking, trying to pop one ball at a time. So I think I'm just pleased at how I held myself together today. It's incredible. I think I've obviously waited a long time for this. It's been sort of 7 or 8 years since I won my last big one, the UK. And obviously at times you're thinking whether you're going to win a big tournament again. So to come here, and this is close to home now, only 20 minutes away, it's like my local tournament. It's a dream come true.
Yes, he is in excellent form at the moment, Judd Trump, and he takes on Harvey Chandler, who is 23, 111th in the world rankings. The 2018 European Amateur Champion takes on Trump this evening at 7 o'clock. It could be a cracker. We've had a cracker this afternoon with Mark Williams. Who knows what we're going to get tonight? But if we talk about Trump first of all, in the form of his life at the moment, would you say? Because he won the Masters last month. Great victory over Ronnie O'Sullivan. And less than 24 hours ago, he won the World Grand Prix.
I know. He's so full of confidence at the moment. He's one player I love to watch play because, although I've played him many times, I've had a lot of close matches with Judd. You get your chances, there's no doubt about that, and I'm sure Harvey will have some tonight. Whether he takes them is another matter, of course. It's difficult out there with the spotlight on you, but I think Judd, you know, brimful of confidence. He'll be glad it's a best of 7. He must be tired mentally. And if Harvey can start well tonight, you never know what can happen.
He had the opportunity to move this game, though, didn't he? I think he could have played this one later, but he said, no, I want to crack on. I mean, I'm keen to beat Ali Carter last night, and he wants to be straight back in action this evening. Yes,
well, I shouldn't think he'll need to practice much. He's obviously, you know, had frame after frame in winning that last event, the World Grand Prix. So, and it's only Cheltenham. It's not as though he's had to travel a long way to get here. So he should be fine. He'll play off from the confidence that he's got from winning last night, and I'm sure we'll see a good performance from him.
But as we've just seen with Kishan Hirani pushing Mark Williams all the way, sometimes the world rankings don't count for an awful lot in terms of the tightness of contests. I mean, he's way down in the rankings, Trump right up there at 4th.
Yes.
So can he push him? Can he challenge?
Oh, definitely. In a best of 7, every top seed is vulnerable. If you don't start well, you can be on the ropes very, very quickly, and then you know you're under pressure, and you're going to have to perform under pressure, and it's not easy to do all the time.
Always a really exciting player to watch, isn't he, Judd Trump? Quick word on the other game that we're keeping an eye on tonight, Mark Allen against Mark Joyce. Mark Allen's in good form. He's won a couple of ranking events as well this season.
Yes, a great player. Another very similar style of player to Judd Trump, a very attacking player, gets on with it, quick player. I enjoy watching Mark Allen. I love the way he plays. He's very brave under pressure. But Mark Joyce is an experienced campaigner. He could cause him problems tonight. And again, if he can start well, I wouldn't be at all surprised if he was capable of winning.
Do you want to put your neck on the line then? Quick prediction.
Well,
for both games.
I've got to say, because of Judd's experience, I'd have to go with Judd. Although Harvey's a great player, I think Judd with his experience. Mark Allen. Well, Mark Joyce has also got a lot of experience. That could be a little bit closer, but I'm going to go for Mark Allen.
OK, all right. Thank you very much indeed. So Dominic is off for that mixed grill. Squeeze it in very quickly. He'll be back later at 7 o'clock. I'll be back later at 7 o'clock as well, and we very much hope that you are going to be joining us for that. Judd Trump against Harvey Chandler. We'll see how they get on in that other game as well between Mark Allen and Mark Joyce. It's been a dramatic opening day so far here in Cardiff at the Welsh Open. What next? We'll see you later at 7 o'clock, but from